So I was trying to think of what new content to make. What should I make for another video? And someone gave me the suggestion of talking about what my goals are for this upcoming year and reflecting on what the year past was like. You know, it's New Year resolutions, all that stuff. It's that time of year. We're in early January. And it got me thinking about what do I want to get out of my fighting in this upcoming year. I just thought I'd share my thoughts and reflect on it on camera, put up a couple pictures and clips from some of the fights as I talk over them, things like that. And really, for me, this last year has been a challenging one as far as scheduling and balancing life. So I was very lucky through pandemic, when the pandemic was in full swing and everything was shut down. I was at home and able to train consistently. I work my day job from home. I work my part-time job from home mostly too, right? So I was able to do that and feel pretty able to keep training when a lot of people weren't. Now, what did that do for me as far as teamwork? And that made it very hard. But overall, I felt like I was in an okay boat, and I felt like I was consistently working. Then we came out of that, and the world, quote unquote, normalized, and everything got busy again. And I found myself challenged with the amount of events and the amount of training, the amount of opportunities, and trying to figure out where I wanted to put my effort. I think overall, I was very happy with how my year turned out. I think I've grown as a fighter. I think I've developed better. I've seen more people come to this channel, and I'm running into people who are following me in real life, and that's weird. And that's really great. And I'm happy with my overall performance. I think at the bigger tournaments I did go to, I performed well. I think at the local events, I continue to be a strong force in the list, and I appreciate that. But I do feel like to some level I plateaued a little bit over this last year. And I think this next year is more of me deciding where I want to be as a fighter and what I want to get out of it. What does that mean? So there are a lot of awesome training camps popping around the country, both regionally in New England and all over the place. There's West Coast, there's Southern ones, there's New England ones. We have Valhalla, which is a week-long fighting training event and kind of festival here in New England. We have monthly fights here in New England. We have regional events. We have teams growing all over the place that I'm communicating with on and off as I start to hopefully become more of a presence and able to help people get into the sport and develop. And finding the time to do all of those things while also hoping to go overseas for international fights, while working a regular job like everybody, while having a business that I own as well, while raising two kids and having a family, and they're off on their own sports too. It can be very challenging. So I think for me this year is going to be about balance. I think I'm going to work very hard to make sure that I'm using my time effectively. So my big goals are not really to change a lot of what I'm doing, but to be able to maintain the high rate of training that I was doing, high rate for me, while not losing out on other things in life, right? It's very easy to do that. There's a lot of great people in this country who want to be the best in the world and they're best in the country, and they have built their lives around the sport, and that's fantastic. I think that's great. I wish sometimes I could do that. I can't, or I haven't, either way, right? This is a hobby that I'm very, very dedicated to. So for me, what I'm looking to do in this upcoming year is hopefully become more consistent with using my time wisely. I have worked on expanding my own personal workout space, with a power rack in the backyard and a bunch of workout gear and trying new equipment at home. And I just got a rower for Christmas, so I'll be adding that in. But what I'm trying to do with all this is make sure that when I'm at home and I'm spending my time training, I'm being effective. I want to be better at building my own plans. I talked about an earlier video, if you've watched, about planning your own workouts, how important that is. It is, and I do it pretty well, and then sometimes I don't, and I find that things slip. So for me, that's really what this is going to be about. It's about finding a way to make sure that my time, which is the most valuable thing that I have, is used effectively. I truly hope, I'm coming up in a week, when I'm filming this, I don't know when this is going to come out, but a week from Nationals, heading out to Nashville for that, and after that, assuming that we do well there, it's going to be internationals. We'll be going to Spain. That's been a goal of mine since I started the sports. 5 years in, I have not fought overseas because of mostly pandemic things and missing opportunities because of that. And that's a goal for me. It's a lifelong goal to be able to compete at an international level with anything. So I'm very, very excited for the opportunity. Hope I get it. That's going to check a big check off my bucket list if I'm able to do that. So I think those are the areas that I'm really focused on this year. It's going to be doing really well covering nationals, doing hopefully really well internationally in Spain, and at least experiencing it. And then at that point, kind of reflecting on where I want to spend my time. And I see myself going in a couple directions in this sport over the next few years. One of them is continue to do exactly what I'm doing right now, which is compete at everything that I'm able to, and be grateful for the opportunities I have. The other one is become more focused on the training side of it and the helping and the coaching and the local teams in developing people. I'd love to see New England become even bigger than it is, and I think there's a lot of opportunity with a lot of different groups and different teams and different people coming up, and I think that we could expand that network even more and have more great events and fights, and I think that I'm in a position to help with that. There's a difference, I think, for people who are coming into this. People have to decide very early if they want to be doing this at the top level, or if this is a hobby for them, or is it somewhere in between, and you really want to think about that. So for me, I've been competing at the higher level in the US for a couple years now. I still consider myself a good fighter at best. I think I'm good. I don't think I'm great. I don't know if I'll ever be great. I may have missed the window for great, being a little bit older as I come into the sport, but who knows? But for me, it's about how do we keep the energy vibrant. I had a really awesome opportunity this last weekend at a local fight to meet a new fighter who follows this channel, who follows me on YouTube, and it was her first fight. And sometimes I forget how exciting this sport is and how unique it is, and how when I first saw it and came into it, when I first held the weapons, like that feeling of like, this is different. And now it's routine. I have my own armor and I have my sword. This is the thing I own. I just go do it and I practice every week, and it became, something I forget that like this is a real gift to be able to even do this, and I want to help expand that and grow that. I think a lot of this year is going to be talking about that with people, with sharing kind of the lens through which we should be viewing this, and grateful for every opportunity we get. And also to reinvigorate part of my spark for fighting. I have found that with how busy I've been in the last year, a lot of times when I'm going to events, whether local or regional, whatever, when I'm traveling, that the fighting feels a little bit obligatory to me, that I'm obligated to do this thing. That the fighting sometimes feels obligatory. Like I'm going to events and I'm going almost like it's a job. Like, I gotta go fight tonight, gotta travel down, pack my stuff, all right, gotta do it. And then, I enjoy doing it. It's not that I'm feeling like, oh, I hate this, but I do feel like I've lost kind of that spark, and it's become almost like I've trained, so I might as well fight, or I'm fighting, so I better keep training. And sometimes that's okay. All hobbies go through cycles like that. All goals, anything you want to be good at, you're not going to be running on just enthusiasm forever. I think if you do that, you want to be always motivated. I've talked about in videos before too, you won't get anywhere with any of this. You have to train through the times you don't feel motivated. You have to fight on the days you don't want to fight. I've never come out of an event and said, man, I really wish I hadn't done this. I don't want to do this anymore. But I have found myself going in kind of as a grumpy old man sometimes, going on, I gotta fight. It happened this week. We had a Friday night fight at the Knights Hall. We're doing kind of our local fights and our matches and our training fights. And I didn't want to go. I didn't want to pack up my stuff. I'd worked all week. I didn't want, got down there and I was like, man, I hope I get less matches than more. And like that kind of mentality means I'm not looking to improve like I was. So that's the thing I want to work on too, is my own mentality with it. Make sure that I'm participating at the level that is respectful for my teammates, is that I'm working hard enough that I deserve to be on the team, and that I'm earning my spot every day. So I think that for me, that's really the focus. It's going to be finding ways to stay invigorated, to keep connecting with people, to make my dream of fighting international happen this year, be reflective after that on where I want to go from there, and also be honest with myself that I'm now 5 years into the personal 10-year commitment I made in the sport. I said I was going to fight for 10 years if I bought armor. Coming into my 5th year now, I'm about halfway through, and thinking about now that I'm here, what have I done and where can I go and where do I want to go? So that's really, this year I think is going to be a year of reflection for me, a year of kind of taking stock, you know, and making sure that I am putting my energy into the right places to help myself with this wonderful sport, but also to help others. I'd love to hear other people's thoughts and plans, what they're working on. Do you have a specific thing that you want to get better at? You know, for me, I think one of the areas as far as like actual training, I need to get back to more consistent power work. I've been saying that for a little bit. I put it aside. I do the weightlifting, I do the grappling, I do the Tabatas. I haven't been doing my power work as much, so that's on my list of like keeping the balance together. But is there something that you want to work on? Do you have a mindset shift? Is there something you need help with? Let me know. Because we're all in this together if we want to keep the sport growing. That is my goal as an ambassador for Armored Combat and Bowhurt, is to make sure that I'm the person that people feel comfortable going to if they say, hey, I have questions and I want to learn more. So thanks for watching. My name's Chuck Goodwin, Woodchuck Knight. Like, subscribe, follow. There's merch down in the link below if you want to buy a shirt and help support this channel, things like that. I appreciate it. Have a great day.